Strategies for Bali to attract 7 million foreign tourists without over-tourism. Pak Sandiaga Uno, of course, is saying that. And police hunt viral Bule motorcycle gang. This is a lovely one. Okay, so stay tuned for details. Selamat sore. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is February 4th, 2024. Yes, I'm not time traveling today. I am back in 2024. And what is the weather like today? Well, you may hear some thunder in the background. It is pouring. We have a downpour. And if I got this clip, I'll show you. It just came in all of a sudden within 5 minutes. It was a monster. And yesterday we had rain from 7 o'clock in the morning all the way till about 2:30 in the afternoon. And it looked like it was going to interfere with the dancing and the fashion show and the singing over at the Bung Karno Park. And fortunately, it stopped raining, and it turned out to be a lovely night. A lot of people there, a lot of foreigners. I was surprised. My wife said there are actually a lot of foreign kids, well, half foreign, half Indonesian, in Zoe's school. And so I was surprised about that. And it was lovely, and I put a short little clip up on Instagram, and I think it's on Facebook too. I don't know. I was having some real problems figuring out how to get things on Instagram. Not very tech literate about that. So, what is the weather like today? Well, okay, obviously pouring, and it is 29.4 degrees Celsius. It has dropped 2 degrees in just the last 20 minutes, and the humidity is 77%. And hear that rain? I'll try to get rid of that as much as possible when I do the post editing here. And wind speed is, well, pretty high, 18.4 kilometers per hour. It is gusting. And so, rainy season, rainy season, rainy season, certainly here in Buleleng. And a lot of viral videos this week, a lot of Bules behaving badly and some Indonesians behaving badly, and not just badly, but just kind of idiotically. Some real bizarre ones of people hanging out of cars, making videos, hanging out the windows. Wow, people take a lot of risk to get clicks, likes, views, whatever. I don't know. And so we're going to have a story about a viral video that is pretty interesting, and it's attracted a lot of attention from just about everybody. And so let's get into the first story, though, and that is Pak Sandiaga Uno again. Last one was all about him, basically, and this one we're going to start off with Pak Sandiaga again. So, strategies for Bali to attract 7 million foreign tourists without over-tourism. Bali is targeted to attract 7 million foreign tourists this year, about 50% of the overall target of foreign tourists coming into Indonesia, as I mentioned in the last video. Pak Sandiaga, of course, said this, and he's always got something to say, and he's the outgoing minister. May not be around much longer. The election is only 10 days away. Pak Sandiaga said that they are targeting 14.3 million foreign tourists coming into Indonesia, and because Bali is the favorite tourist destination, we're going to get half of that, even though we only have 4.5 million residents. He said, according to a study by his ministry, the Island of Gods can meet that target. In order to prevent over-tourism, he said this has to be done carefully, bringing in the 7 million people in order to prevent over-tourism. One strategy is to increase accessibility to Bali by adding international flights and presenting unique and attractive tour packages without causing over-tourism so that quality and sustainable tourism can be maintained in Bali. He said this, adding the flights and the travel packages, will distribute more quality tourists so that they stay longer and the local community feels the economic impact without being overburdened and without causing over-tourism. According to Pak Sandiaga, these efforts are expected to accelerate the achievement of the target number for 2024. He said hopefully the revival of tourism in Bali can be even stronger in 2024 and achieve the target of creating 4.4 million new jobs. Remember, he said that a long time ago. Bali is included in the list of tourist destinations experiencing over-tourism according to the World Travel and Tourism Council. Other places in the world besides Bali: Amsterdam, Barcelona, Athens, Miami, Phuket, Paris, and Venice. And at first when I looked at this, I thought, he's going to add more flights and more tour packages. How is that going to keep over-tourism from happening? And I guess what the rationale here is, you've got more flights, people won't be packed into certain days, I guess. And if you've got more packages and they're spread around the island, people will go there. Will that work? I don't know. Pak Sandiaga certainly thinks so. If we have a new tourism minister, he may have completely different ideas about how to deal with the situation, not only here in Bali, but around Indonesia. So we'll just have to wait and see about that. And now for the second lead story. Viral video of Caucasian gangs in Bali. Denpasar police reveal new facts. Perpetrators hunted. Okay, so we have this Bule gang driving down the street, I guess over by Sunset Road, and you see the image there, the photo, and there were 4 guys without shirts, one guy in the front wearing a black shirt and a hat. I don't know if he was the leader or what was going on there, and 4 guys, all apparently bodybuilders, because they were buffing every story, talked about how big these guys were, and a number of them had these little mustaches that were similar, and a lot of them were carrying these bags that were similar. It was a very strange kind of thing, and it is everywhere, and a lot of response to that. Mostly negative. A few people have said, who cares, let them do whatever they want. I think the main thing was, well, I won't say some of the nasty things that were said, but basically here is another crowdfunding thing, another, what is it called? Help me, go save me, give me money. Because these guys had no helmets on, no shirts on, just shorts, and riding along happy as can be, knowing that they're getting videoed. They saw somebody videoing them, and they apparently did not care. So a viral video on social media shows the Caucasian gang consisting of a number of foreign nationals driving without following traffic rules in Bali. From the viral video footage circulating, the Caucasian gang, who's generally of strong build, was riding a motorbike without wearing a helmet or clothes. Wow. Allegedly, they were driving around Simpang Dewi Ruchi, Kuta, heading north via Jalan Sunset Road. This was confirmed by the head of the Denpasar Police Traffic Unit, that his party is said to have already pocketed the identity of the owner of the vehicle driven by the Bule gang. And in a different story that just came out a little while ago, the police have already talked to him, and they've made a general announcement to all people renting motorbikes. You need to make sure that the people renting your motorbikes have documents, have driver's licenses, have helmets when they leave, and are going to obey the rules. Now, I don't know how they were going to enforce that, but they also said, hey, if they get a ticket, you're going to be responsible for paying for it. So you want to make sure that they are doing the right thing. So while the police search for the identities of the gang, they've asked for help from immigration now. And in one story said that the guy who rented the bikes, or rented bikes at least to 2 people, said that they were going to leave the country. Maybe they knew that they were leaving and they decided to do something, well, that was going to get viral. Who knows? I can't get into the minds of people that do this weird stuff, although I've done plenty of weird things myself. The police said, we are still tracing the identity of the foreigner who rented the vehicle. Maybe by tomorrow, there'll be a story about them finding out. When asked about sanctions, the Denpasar Police Traffic Unit will give sanctions in the form of a fine. Ticket sanctions, concluded the head of the Denpasar Police Traffic Unit. Based on information gathered by the Bali Tribune, the use of helmets for motorcycle riders is regulated in Article 57, Paragraph 1, in conjunction with Paragraph 2 of the law number 22 of 2009 concerning road traffic and transportation. Meanwhile, Article 106, Paragraph 8 of the law number 22 of 2009 explains that every person driving a motorbike and motorbike passengers must wear a helmet that meets national standards. Motorbike riders who violate the rules can face imprisonment for 1 month or a fine up to Indonesian rupiah 250,000. And of course, that was another comment on this story. People said, well, Indonesians don't do it. I taught second grade for 7 years. I remember my 7 and 8-year-old saying, he did it, why can't I do it? Really? That's an excuse? They got away with it, and so why shouldn't I? Okay, well, don't know. We'll see how this works out. If the gentlemen in question here have left the island and are going to get away with nothing, or if they're going to be fined, or what is going to happen to them. I don't know, but well, if you haven't seen this video, take a look and take a look at it. It's just, well, the guys look really happy. They're doing like little hand signs and stuff. I don't know. You know, I've dumped my bike twice in the 34 years I've been here. The first time was, maybe 30 years ago or so. I was too close behind a truck. It put its brakes on. It was carrying gravel and dumping it, as these trucks tend to do as they're going along. And I slipped on the gravel and hit the pavement. And fortunately, I had a helmet on, and it did bang on the ground. And if I hadn't had a helmet on, my head would be like a watermelon. Second time, another gravel situation out in kind of the jungle, and some dogs came running out of the jungle, and it was a newly graveled road, and I hit my brakes to avoid running into the dogs and lost the bike and hit the ground again. Got ripped up quite a bit, but I had a helmet on and it bounced off the ground. My head bounced off the ground there too. And so that would have been, well, not good for me. Probably would not have been here doing this video today. And so, I don't care how good you are about riding a bike, wear a helmet and some clothes, because when you do hit the ground, wow. My shirts got ripped up in both cases, and if I hadn't had them on, a shirt on, well, my skin injuries would have been worse than they were. Okay, so in the lead story, I was talking about bringing all the tourists in without creating over-tourism, and what were the actual numbers for 2023? 2023, total of 5.2 million foreign tourists to Bali. The Central Statistics Agency, BPS, said that the number of foreign tourists last year was 5,273,528. Australians, 1,324,410. 440,415 Indian tourists. Chinese tourists, 280,101. According to the head of BPS in Bali, she said that the foreign tourist visits in Bali in 2023 increased by 144.61% compared to 2022. Boy, that is a big jump. Of those tourists that came, 5,248,113 came by air, almost all of them, and by ship, 25,145. I don't know about by car, coming from maybe another island. Specifically, in December, there were 481,646 visits by foreign tourists who came directly to Bali, when compared with the numbers in November. On a month-to-month basis, there was an increase in foreign tourists of 19.47%. So every year, the December, January, early January, that's one of the high seasons. And in December, Australians, of course, number 1, Indians, number 2, Singaporeans, number 3, Chinese, number 4, and Malaysians, number 5. Okay, so we had a big year, 5,200 something thousand. Wow, pretty incredible, especially when you go back to 2020 and 2021, and tourists are everywhere, just kind of like the ants on my desk that I can't get rid of. Okay, and some more on tourism. This time we're going to jump up to Buleleng. Maximize enforcement of regional regulations. Tourism Satpol PP is formed. That's up here in Buleleng. A total of 12 personnel from Buleleng Regency Civil Service Police Unit, Satpol, received a decree to become Tourism Satpol PP. They have the special task to oversee tourism order in Buleleng. They were also formed to maximize the enforcement of regional regulations, called PERDA. The head of Buleleng Satpol PP said that this first step is only 12 people. And though to guard all the tourist attractions, remember those are DTWs, in Buleleng, then there should be about 350. He said that ideal number will be met gradually in the future. The dozen personnel who have been formed will be divided into 2 teams. Each of them will carry out patrols in the tourist areas of Buleleng. The main target of the supervision and control is the existing tourist attractions to provide a sense of comfort and safety to tourists and tourist operators. So the Satpol PP, their job is only going to be to maximize regional regulations. Criminal incidents at tourist attractions are the police business. Enforcement of the regional regulations referred to include maintaining security and public order, such as noise pollution, good luck, homeless people and beggars, illegal traders in tourist areas. Apart from that, ensuring tourism actors contribute to the region through local taxes and permits. Another thing that's the task of the Satpol PP is to provide outreach regarding applicable local norms and cultures to foreign tourists, right? The second story today. He said that this is a persuasive way to keep tourists from doing inappropriate, indecent things. For example, there are several cases of foreigners who do things that are considered disrespectful by the local culture and holy places here. With 12 people who are tasked with covering all of Buleleng, this is a big regency, huge. So I don't know, I would guess that the main focus would be over in the Lovina area. Maybe over in Arsani, maybe over in Pamutaran that way, I don't know. In Singaraja, we don't get that many tourists in Singaraja. I saw some today over at the Chinese temple. A lot of people were there cleaning things up, getting ready for Imlek, what we sometimes refer to as Chinese New Year, or a lot of my Chinese friends refer to as the Spring Festival. Well, that's coming up, and so some tourists were over there taking a look at the temple today. And the museum was closed when Zoe and I went by it this morning. Okay, some more on behavior about tourism. Legian Beach Management invites traders to maintain tourism image. Legian Beach Management invites traders to maintain the image of tourism. This is done by not crowding and forcing visitors when offering merchandise, right? You know, those people that follow you around and will never let you go. In recent times, we've noticed the behavior of traders who try to crowd tourists to buy their goods or services. This could disturb the comfort of tourists who come to Legian Beach to relax and enjoy the beach atmosphere and sunset views, according to the chairman of Legian Beach Management. On one occasion, while chatting and meeting face-to-face with the traders, including souvenir traders, massage services, and manicure services at the beach, he emphasized to them that they have to obey the existing rules so that the image of Legian Beach remains good in the eyes of visitors. If in the future it turns out that there are individual traders who do not heed the warning, Pak Agus emphasized that the first step will be to give a humane verbal warning. It's important for us to provide education to all traders because we believe that this approach can create a better environment for all parties. So far, according to Pak Agus, he's had a positive response from traders who've been given education about this situation. He said traders are aware of the importance of maintaining the image of tourism and we're willing to work together. And he hopes that traders will play an active role in maintaining the cleanliness and comfort of Legian Beach. The hope is that tourists will again enjoy the beauty of Legian Beach and provide a warm and homely experience of Balinese culture. He concluded, "We don't just sell services or souvenirs, but we also provide our culture. They, the visitors, come to Bali with a smile, and so they must go home with a smile also." And just a little sidebar on trash. So last night at this dance and this big celebration here, ceremonies, whatever you want to call it, there were a lot of people there, a lot of people. And before we left, as the thing was winding down, the MCs made an announcement, please take your trash and put it in the proper place. Don't leave it here. We kind of had an open amphitheater thing. Don't leave it here for other people to clean up. And wow, there were some trash receptacles. Not a lot, but there were enough, I think, for the number of people there. And so my granddaughter told my wife and don't forget, Grandma, let's take this stuff and throw it away. And so they did. And that was a positive. And here's just a little short clip of what happened last night over at the Bung Karno Park. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe. And I hope wherever you are having a wonderful time. See you next time.